Is it just me? Yes. Is it just me, or do men not approach women anymore? Like, I'm not the approaching type. I can't approach anyone. But I saw some fine men. Did you see some?
I did.
Yeah, we just went to Black on a Block in Texas. Saw some gorgeous men, but none of them approached me, and I'm not the approaching type. I can't do it. But if you approach me, I am nice. I'm just about to be single for forever.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I want to talk to you about why black men do not approach black women. In my previous videos, such as why black men don't marry educated black women and black women are running off their men, I've tackled various aspects of relationships in the black community. Today, I want to delve into a topic of why black men often refrain from approaching black women. Now, it's a common sentiment that modern black women, in many cases, exude an air of excessive masculinity, coarseness, rudeness, and disrespect. Now, this demeanor tends to discourage many black men from initiating contact. They don't want to speak to them. A prevalent issue arises when these women desire men to approach them, yet they promptly dismiss any individual who does that and who don't align with their preferences, often labeling them as creeps or perverts, to say the least. Now, this contradictory behavior naturally dissuades men from approaching black women. Unfortunately, the advent of feminism has contributed to a significant divide within the black community, because some black women who may truly need companionship, looking for a man, are outwardly asserting that they do not require or desire a man. And you know what? This is the reality in today's modern landscape. Viable options for men are dwindling, and they don't seem to realize that. And so, this situation presents a disadvantage because we witness black men seeking partners, for lack of a better phrase, from different cultural backgrounds. I want us to explore the perspectives of those women who lament the lack of approaches from men. Take a look.
Guys are scared to talk to girls now. Even if they see someone, they might not want to approach you. I'm going to say something super controversial and you don't have to agree with it. But first and foremost, men don't go up to women anymore because you guys call them pervy, weirdo, and all this stuff. And you guys scream at the top of your lungs you hate men. So if men aren't approaching you, I can see why. Another thing, I also believe it's the way that you present yourself and how you carry yourself. A lot of you women in real life are really bitchy. I've seen you guys. You have like a stick up your ass, the way that you guys look, the way that you act, and the way that you carry yourselves. I get approached 24/7 to the point where sometimes it's a little bit too much, even at the gym. But I also think it's because I'm always smiling and I'm very bubbly. I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm the hottest because I'm not. But I'm sorry, I still get approached by dudes when girls say, "Oh, men don't approach us and they're scared of this and that." Probably scared of you and probably don't want you because I get approached 24/7. I don't struggle with that one bit.
All right, y'all. Here's a question. Why men don't approach women anymore? Glad you asked. Let's get into it, family. Happy Saturday, everybody. Number one, the fear of rejection. Women today, as we know, have some unrealistic standards. Some women. Unless he has a six-pack, six-figure, and is 6 feet, you can't talk to him. Number two, it's not just about the fear of rejection. For some men, it's the fear of being labeled a creep or a predator because the man that's approaching you isn't your type. So because he's interested in you, he a creep? Come on now. Number three, online dating, which has made it so men don't have to get rejected in person. Number four, social media. Now you can just run up in somebody's DM. You don't have to have communication skills. I think all this technology and everything has made our communication skills terrible, y'all. Terrible. And last, we've seen how women will reject men in unnecessarily rude ways. It's okay to not be interested, to try to embarrass them. Y'all, we gotta stop.
There are three types of women that are often intimidating for many men to approach: wealthy women, wanted women, and well-known women. Men who find their self-worth in their ability to provide or be breadwinners are often intimidated by wealthy women because they assume based on her stability that they have nothing to offer, but that's not always true. Just because she makes a lot of money doesn't necessarily mean she doesn't want a man to take care of her. That might be something she actually desires. She's just extraordinarily successful in her field of work. And everybody isn't toxic like, I don't need a man because I make money. That's like me saying, I don't need a woman because I can cook. There are many financially stable women that desire to have a good man come into their life, provide for them, and help build wealth together. A wanted woman is a woman that everybody desires because of how she looks, or maybe she has some characteristic that's just attractive to the masses. But every beautiful and pretty woman doesn't have a terrible attitude. Some of them still desire to have a high value man that treats them the way they deserve to be treated or they desire to be treated. So you never assume just because she's attractive that you don't stand a chance. Well-known women usually have some measure of power, influence, or authority. An insecure man will never gain the attention of a woman like that.
You know why black men don't want to date black women and they become the passport bros? You know why the passport bro become the passport bro? Because black women have a low standards about themselves. Black women run their mouth too much. You argue too much. That's why the men become the passport bros, because of your mouth. Your mouth is very disrespectful. You don't have no respect. That's why the man don't want to date you. Understand? That's why the man rather get a passport and fly out the country to find his wife, because black woman mouth is very disrespectful. Black men are more likely to date outside his race than any other man, and that's good for the black man. He could find a better queen, because if one woman not cutting it, why not? And a lot of them just let themselves go.
So certainly we see that two factors are at play. In the forefront are attitude and behavior. Men constantly talk about the attitude and the behavior of black women. Men's reluctance to approach black women is closely linked to these aspects, coupled with the discomfort of potential rudeness and downright rejection. It's imperative for black women to consider their attitudes, as a failure to do so could leave them isolated, and I believe it already does. Men from other ethnic backgrounds are not lining up to date black women. And this could result in a dire predicament if black men decide to exit this equation. And guess what? I believe they have decided, and they are making their exit.
Most dudes that I know who date outside their race, outside of our black race, were looked at as lames in the black community. Yeah. It wasn't a situation where it's like, okay, now I grew up aspiring to be with a white woman. What the story is typically I grew up, I was in my black neighborhood, I didn't fit in, the women didn't want me, I would shoot my shot and they would curve me over and over and over again. But then when I went to talk to this white girl, she was vibing with me, and we just picked it up and then went from there. So now I date white women now. But it's not a situation where it's like, oh no, I was bred, I was taught since young, and oh no, I want to be the white woman. Black woman, hell no, I'm good. Now when the same dude, that nerd who was lame in the neighborhood, you wasn't given no opportunity, hell no, I don't want to go on no date. Just get away from me. The same dude 15 years later is a multimillionaire. And now he's dating a white woman, and you looking at him like, oh, it's sold out.
Now, but I love black women. I think they are my preference, but it's harder to it's harder to date them, you know, especially like if you're under 6 foot. I mean, that's a big deal, being over 6 foot. But girls from other races, they're like, does he make 3,000 pounds a year? Did he go to Cambridge, Oxford? And if you did that, it's a wrap. They're gonna take you. But I don't think black women generally value the education and that different kind of clout, right?
You ask a black woman, hey, what's going on? And then she says something crass and negative like, ain't nothing going on but the rent. What? They're so inexperienced with healthy relationships with men that they only view the male as a source of extraction. Hence, any interaction with a male, they really engage as a form of prostitute whether they are extracting from the male directly through prostitution or through being a stripper or being a sugar baby, or they're using the government, that is the state, as their instrumentality to extract from the male via child support or alimony in their short-lived marriages. And it's really sad because that's really all they understand the male to be, because their definition of a father came vis-a-vis the government. Because your mom was a slore. In the cases of most black women, your mother was promiscuous. That's why your father wasn't there.
Do me a favor, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. You know, my heart goes out to these women who may be under the misconception that their beauty entitles them to be treated as queens, even when they lack the fundamental qualities of royalty. And a whole lot of them certainly do. The dilemma stems from this misguided notion that men are compelled to tolerate the unwanted behavior and negative attitudes. However, I must impart a sobering reality. The time for such concessions has passed, meaning that ship has already sailed. Gone are the days when few black men contemplated leaving their homeland. Listen, today's reality is different. Many black men are venturing abroad to many different countries. Their perspectives broadened. No longer constrained by toxic relationships, they've embraced the possibility of greener pastures. Even if these pastures seem perched upon a metaphorical septic tank, and you know what that means. The allure is more compelling than the offering that black women in America present. So regrettably, the demand for black women has diminished. So your narrative is no longer viable. Do me a favor. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. My name is William Nelson Ryan, signing off until our next interaction. This is Love Factual, wishing you blessings and take care of yourself.
Every rhyme that you hear